Hi, in this video I'll give you a brief overview of the research we're conducting for the Everyday Peace Toolkit project. Through this research, we want to find out how people can respond to the everyday forms of violence that they may experience in their lives. There could be situations that we all go through in our daily lives. So is there anything that we could do ourselves in those situations to get back a sense of control and dignity? In order to find answers, we look in details at the patterns and dynamics of violence. We want to know as much as possible about how they happen so that we can figure out ways to transform them. We try to unpack and understand how violence happens. So we'll look at it not as extraordinary events, but as everyday experiences that are part of our lives. Often these incidents take place in the context of power dynamics that shape our everyday relationships. So this is why we are looking at power too. But what kind of violence are we looking at? Well, violence is a big word that could have different meanings for different people. In this project, we want to understand it as a range of experiences that people have in their everyday lives. We want to understand what it is like to experience it. Although research often focuses on specific predefined categories of violence, in people's lived experiences, those categories might be blurred and mixed together, and not so meaningful after all. To capture the complexity of everyday life experiences and patterns, we look at a broad spectrum from microaggressions to incidents that involve significant physical violence. But it could really be even just a small interaction, something that made you or someone else feel a sense of shame, humiliation, or feeling unheard. You do not necessarily need to consider it as violence or see the people involved as victims or perpetrators. But even incidents that may seem small matter, and they may help us understand important patterns. They could be incidents that happen in many different situations: family, school, workplace, or random unfamiliar locations, or more. They could also include interactions that involve representatives of an institution. We have designed 4 surveys to collect data. The surveys focus on microaggression, protracted relationships and bullying, institutional harm, aggression, and sexual harassment. You're very welcome to take 1 or more surveys to share your experience and contribute to this project. One of the special features of this study is that it focuses on how people's experiences are an expression of broader structural issues, such as socioeconomic disparities, gender, race, and more. And yes, these are again big words, but what we're looking at is how they look like in people's real lives. This is why we try to understand how power is reflected in the real lives and relationships of real people. So we adopt a people-centric approach. We believe that people are key agents of change, and we focus on what they can do themselves to make changes in their lives, families, or communities. We also value people's knowledge that comes from their experiences. In this study, we ask people whether they have advice or suggestions that could help others in similar circumstances. This project is carried out by Dr. Monica Carrer and Dr. Sylvia Frame, both qualified and experienced researchers in the field of peace and conflict studies and co-founders of the Everyday Peace Initiative.